Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Odin's Sphere, Leifdrasir. In the last episode, well, our mother died. So I think that's the second character who lost a loved one in the first scene of the game. And we are now queen. I guess that's kind of our destiny.
Princess Mercedes, we have so many injured that we have run out of sickbeds and medicine.
You know, maybe say that to my face. I think I'd appreciate it if you talk to me and not my, you know, not my uncle. Or whatever he is. Is he my nephew? I don't know.
Open the southern imperial villa and house the wounded there. I shall notify our mages to increase healing potion production.
At least he seems fairly competent.
Princess Mercedes, I hope this is adequate.
Oh, yes.
She's too young, man. I feel like that's such a hard burden on somebody so young. Like she just looks young.
So you must be Melvin's Shadow Knight.
Oh, dude, it's Oswald, my favorite character.
I'm not feeling well.
This brooding edgelord, I love him so much.
His way here makes me nervous. Do you think that girl can fulfill her duties as queen in these times of strife?
You do understand that I'm standing right here.
He ought to take her place.
Wow, you know, I'm literally right here, you two.
Your Majesty, I'm extremely unhappy.
My mom just died, and you're talking about me being unhappy?
For the cauldron.
Come on.
When we were defeated, we left our forges and became Lillipats. But the dwarves who escaped the fairies joined forces with the Demon Lord and made more weapons to hurt us.
Why didn't you guys make weapons here? I mean, you have a cauldron of unlimited phosons. Why didn't you just make weapons back? I know, like, violence begets violence and all that, but it just feels kind of tacked on a little. I have one of these in my bag. I don't think I need another one. All right, and I'm not sure if I talked to these guys before, which is the only reason I'm talking to them again. But oh my God, Unicorn Knight!
I will fight to the end for Queen Elfaria.
I don't know why these Unicorn Knights always impress me. They just look really cool. I like their design. And I thought they were like robots at first, because look at the way that their legs are shaped. They look like hydraulics. Look at the way that their arms look. They look like they have really thin arms. So I just thought, like, they're probably robots. But really, when you hear that voice inside, it's like, no. Holy crap, no, they're totally not.
It has not been long since you lost your mother. Perhaps you need a vacation.
But Melvin,
Allow me to handle the governmental affairs. The people will be fine.
Are you suggesting that the Queen is a burden?
Absolutely not.
Melvin, the Chief Armorer would like to discuss something with you.
I'll see him immediately. Excuse me, I must be on my way.
So he's controlling the armed forces as he wishes.
Just as Mother said, I cannot do anything.
Queen Mercedes, please control yourself. There's something strange in the air here. Melvin is acting highly suspiciously. His heart burns with ambition, and he seems to be making some kind of plan. He's not showing anything on the surface, but we can't let this continue. Let us speak with the sorcerer who served Queen Elfaria. The famous sorcerer Beldor, who enslaves a dragon and sees the netherworld. 'Tis better to have a dependable expert on our side. I doubt he will cause a rebellion within the land, but who can say? If the country collapses after Queen Elfaria's death, the Demon Lord truly wins. I have heard that Beldor has retreated to a place in the forest. If Queen Mercedes should visit him in the forest, he should be honored to help.
Well, back to the forest of Elrit we go. And just something to make mention of. Like, something that I kind of like about the plot of this game, but at the same time not, or at least of Mercedes chapter, because I haven't played through it. I only played like the first episode, and I know a little bit of what happens next. So, by the way, if I'm fumbling around for the Phozon prisms from this point on, I keep calling them crystals, but really they're Phozon prisms. I just don't know where they are anymore, so it's a little bit harder to... God, come on. I'm also really bad with Mercedes if it wasn't obvious. I just have a habit of always overusing my power, and I'm not very good at managing myself at all. Alright. I should probably start eating a lot of food because I feel like I'm underleveled already. Mostly because, well, I am. I am level 1, the baseline level. But overall, it should be fine. 3 should get me to level 3. That should be fine. Here we go. Now, like I said, Mercedes is kind of more of a ranged character, and she's very strong from a range, but that's about it. You want to be extremely careful with her. She's pretty brittle. But her ability to fly does give her quite a few advantages, specifically against ground enemies. But that's, I think, why they pair you against so many more, what's it called? Like flying type enemies or enemies that really can close the distance. Oh god. Oh, here we go. Just backpedal into them. That works. Whatever works, right? do what works best. All right, so now we wanna. I like how they're starting her out fighting against like really weak opponents, like goblins. Well, at least weak appearing opponents, goblins, bees, small stuff. Now let's see what our first Phozon Prism is. I believe it's gonna be one of our most useful abilities because it's kind of been a running theme, to be perfectly honest. And I don't remember what element she is. Round Shot. Her abilities might not be elemental based like the rest of them were, but that's fine. Fire a huge magic bullet, and it costs 6 PP. That's not bad. It's pretty cheap overall, plus I think she's going to get a lot more power points overall than the rest of the people we've already used. Okay, so let's move this way. So I guess just be ready with your blocks, which I'm very bad with, but it's okay. And keep him juggled for as long as physically possible. As long as you're out of range, he really can't do much, and I should also probably set this. Let's make Round Shot the directional shot. And you can kind of see why it's a good push tool, but at the same time, you kind of want to be careful not to overuse it. And it does nice solid hits of damage. So Mercedes is pretty good at juggling. So maybe just keep this guy juggled as much as possible for your first fight, because he's very strong. And unlike other characters who can keep comboing indefinitely and just have to dodge attacks, she, like I said, can juggle and keep things out of range, making bosses such as these very easy, especially charge down type bosses. You want to make sure they're not a range type boss like you, otherwise you can kind of get really hurt really fast. Overall, pretty simple. Mercedes is fucking overpowered. And wow, they're really making me fight bosses right now. Come on. It's okay. Most of these bosses are like really weak anyway, so overall they're gonna be very, very quick to kill. Though, like I said, ranged attacks are now the bane of your existence, so be careful. Oh god, come on, really? Really? I'm just covered in honey. Okay, so this might actually be the first time I die, because I don't have any potions. Come on, please. Oh god, okay. So like I said, Mercedes not my best character. Most likely the first time I'll die if I'm not careful. Also, maybe I should have made it neutral, considering how often I need to attack with it. But it's okay. Got him. Oh god, that was so close. I'm so bad as Mercedes. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was really bad at Contra as a kid. But that's what her gameplay reminds me of Contra. But it's still fun in its own unique way. Let's just equip this. Alright, let's plant. We've definitely got enough for some plants here. Oh, wait, I was gonna also do the Rosemile seed, but I messed up. Here we go. And then I'll release the rest of my Phozons. Luckily, I don't believe Phozons disappear like they used to. I remember that in the first game, Phozons would actually disappear, like the first version of this game. Oh god. It used to, they used to disappear because they're only like temporary on the battlefield when the enemies would die, and if you didn't absorb them and you weren't ready to absorb them, you'd basically just be, you know, SOL, just you're done. No Phozons for you. Also, there was a separation between like the weapon and your actual level, which didn't really make sense from a gameplay perspective. I mean, like overall, I'm happy Vanillaware finally found their niche when they started making these types of games. All right, here we go. Hello. Onionite and Habanestros, not bad. And Attorney. And a star pendant. Okay, they're starting to give us some gear early, which I really appreciate. Let's see if we can just equip that star pendant. Like, any gear is good gear at this point. Anything that gives us a little bit of defense is really beneficial. I keep, like, double tapping then holding instead of just tap and hold. Instead of tap and holding. Jesus. Alright, there we go. You guys are super easy, because I'll have to just walk forward and shoot. Hello, little butterfly. Let me just steal your soul. Alright, let's see. Is there anywhere else we can go? I really like the fact that she's just like a float type. You know what? Maybe it's closer. It's easier to compare her to Toho, like a Toho style character, than it would be to actually call her a Contra style character. Maybe it's a bit of both, really, because of her ability to shoot in almost every direction except for up, which is a little bit inconvenient against certain enemies. Like, I think she comes across the airship because almost everybody comes across the airship, but it's a little bit more annoying for her, mostly just because of all the smaller things. Oh, come on. Every time I'm defending from the back. Also, it's a little bit easier to see her actual range when you're looking at the smaller minimap up top. Because, like, it seems like her abilities just go only on screen, but really they extend a little bit past it. So you can kind of edge out characters if you're careful enough. So, I believe our next area we want to go to is right here. Hello, Red Goblin. What did you hold? Nothing? Well, that sucks. There's a secret up here. And this is the only one I found, and then so every other one past this is going to be completely new to me. I might have to actually end up looking them up just to make sure that I, you know, for accuracy's sake. Though, since we've seen most of the bosses, they should all be like, same basic concept. I'll explain them when I get to them, and I can kind of like differentiate how they would work with Mercedes as opposed to other characters, or, you know, the other characters that we're going to be fighting with soon. I'm not sure if that's the only one we really need at this point. That's actually a good one too. Let me see if I can. Here, I'm gonna make Phozon Burst, because this is his Phozon Burst, just so you can see. It's like a flash. So what you want to do is you want to set that at something that's neutral. Oh, I keep hitting. Yeah, which is why I was like thinking about keeping it in neutral. It's like a keep away type attack. It like stuns and also keeps everything at bay for like a little while. Allows you to kind of set up some bigger attacks, maybe even your burst shot if you want to keep them even farther out of range. I believe there's another shot later on that lets you push them away. So she's pretty much fully keep away. So just keep that in mind, I guess, when using her. All right. Oh, whoop. Hopefully this won't end up being a short episode like I'm expecting. I think they wanted this area to be like, because she's a completely new style of character. Like Cornelius and Gwendolyn were like they're pretty standard. You know, they felt similar enough to each other that they didn't really need new explaining. But Mercedes feels like her own thing. You want to be incredibly careful with her. There we go. And overall, she's unique. She's very, very unique in the span of the game. So it's understandable that they would want to give you a little bit of a smaller arena to just kind of test her out on weaker enemies. I also like how her tutorial is literally just her hunting frogs, and then we come back to this area and it's more hunting frogs. Even if it is unintentional, I think it's a nice touch. Uh-oh. Oh, so her dodge is like a backstep instead of like a full dodge, which is really convenient. I like that. It's more of a distance play than it is anything else. But you can't spam it like you can with Gwendolyn or Cornelius, who just dodge roll really quick. I guess that's because she already has more mobility than they do. Which, I mean, it makes sense to balance the game overall. Wait, there's a hidden area I didn't see up here. Oh, God. Okay, well, this will be interesting. Come on. I don't know if enemies can actually block it. Maybe they don't block just because of the fact that the distance doesn't trigger their AI to actually block. I mean, I don't actually know, but I think that's interesting overall. Come here, you. And, alright, we're getting pretty close to the... Yeah, I'll go a little bit farther, but first let's check with... Oh, we can't check with Marie yet? Oh, I want to see what kind of new food she would have just for Mercedes. I actually have a housekeeper named Mercedes. That's kind of interesting. I don't know, that's what I think of. I just think that this is what she used to look like before she got older. She's basically my second mom, to be fair. I really love that old woman. She's the nicest. Alright, Mom. Apparently that's really it. Maybe I'm gonna save the boss for next time, but for now, let's keep it at that. So I'll go to the rest area. There's not much we can do. Maybe I'll buy some stuff in the next episode. But for now, I will see you guys in the next episode. So, see you later, everybody.